So I've had a bit of a passion about safety, and some of my colleagues will tell you that. My family call me Mr. Safety, because when they were kids and I was trying to get them, there was always like a pair of glasses next to the hedge trimmers or whatever. Like so, I've always had a bit of a passion for that. Yes, 1982 seems a long time ago now, and the energy industry has definitely changed quite considerably. Wind power has grown so much since I joined. You know, for about 5 or 6 years, we were recruiting and training a person a day within Siemens. And that, just can you imagine that? So after 6 months, you're the expert, and there's a boatload, 6 months worth of people come in. So it was quite a time to bring people in and make sure you get them up to standard. Um, then, of course, we built Hull, which was just amazing to try and bring some jobs to the area that needed development. The Queen came round. That was a great day. My mother loved all the pictures. So there you go. Well, first of all, I think the creation of G Plus and the way G Plus is influencing safety is excellent. I think it's an organisation which started from a passion from people who were operating wind farms, and I think I was one of those that influenced us taking a wider view, collaborating with more companies, more skills, more knowledge, and creating G Plus. And therefore, it's a family with safety at its heart and mind. And now we're going across the world, in other regions, in Americas and Asia, taking that land knowledge and deploying it and having bigger influence. If I look at the Energy Institute, then I think the G Plus and Safety On partnership with Energy Institute makes a lot of sense, because that's an organisation that has seen how safety standards and guidance has developed through energy, mainly the oil industry, and it gives us a platform that when we have any discussions, there is already some expertise or some information available. And I do like the fact that it's coordinating a number of different industries with similar risk portfolios, similar problems to solve. Yeah, so I mean, lifting still statistically is our highest risk in the industry. It's the place where we have the most incidents. And in the past, we have dropped some pretty big things and made a mess of a number of things. I think the first thing we did was we looked at a better design. You know, where is the safety holding point? Where is the center of gravities? Where do we put a hook or a sling? Getting everybody away from underneath it in an exclusion zone. That was definitely the first set of incidents we did, making sure people had proper PPE, and it became mandatory to wear things and get themselves that mindset. The safety is important. After that, I think we've looked at a lot other designing out lifts. So try to avoid lifts, getting better logistics so that we don't have to lift things, making sure people are trained with specialists and lifting plans, and making sure that that's embedded in anything we do. So I think lifts now is far better controlled, understood, and I think the training and expertise has come on leaps and bounds over the years. We're an industry that's expanding, and whilst there's been a lot of improvements over the years I've seen, we've got to make sure two things. One is we help people who are not familiar with lifting look at all the aspects that I've just said. You know, the equipment, the training, the expertise, the people, the risks, understanding it. And then there's also that which is bringing other people who have got experience from other industries, who've got maybe logistics experts and automation experts, you know, maybe even in the future AI experts that can see where a risk that you wouldn't quickly see. So I think we've got to be always open-minded that whilst that risk exists, while incidents are still happening, then we should continue to involve as many people as possible. And I think the diversity we have in the energy industry today is so much better than we have, and that is a great thing in bringing in these fresh approaches. And then we had the opportunity to write a sector deal for offshore wind. Now, rarely do you get an opportunity to influence the energy policy of your country. And I think the first day we went in, they looked at us and went, "You're not even an industry, never mind a sector." They literally rejected us as to why should we listen to you. But thankfully, myself and the small team of industry colleagues, we went back in again and again and again over 26 months. And out of it came effectively the renewable energy policy that we still follow today in the country. And that just shows you, I think, that if you get together as an industry, you can collaborate, if you've got a vision, determination, that you can achieve things that you think are somewhat impossible. So yeah, it's you sit back afterwards and we're still doing it. We're still having that influence through a number of organisations. Whether we can deploy as quickly as we need to, that's our challenge. Because unfortunately, we have an auction system and we keep on changing governments, and we've had false starts trying to create a vast role of renewables, whether that be wind or even solar. And I think it's the level of deployment we need. I think every engineering industry, when they have a high level of deployment, they get more efficient, they get more effective, they get better at doing things. They do create jobs and skills naturally because there's a driver and a force. Prices come down. And I think we've had some great progress over the last 13 years since we did the cost reduction task force. We've seen costs come down, but I think we've not even scratched the surface of what we can achieve as an industry in a country. I'm very much for the growth of renewables. I think it will create economic benefit. It'll create stability on our electricity prices, which I think we need from a society point of view. And I think it brings out energy security that we need. And we've always had as a country. We kind of let go over the last 25 years or so. And I think we really need to gain that. But I mean, we do need other things. We need solar, we need a bit of nuclear, whilst wind, I think, needs to be the backbone, such that we have a renewable, net zero, achievable energy supply with security. Most of all, I'd like to make sure that we get that economic benefit and that the jobs and the skills come flowing out of that. And I just think that the more we can bring people into the family who are looking at the aspects of their particular expertise, the more knowledge we can have to design out a risk of an incident happening. I retired from Siemens at the end of September, 43 years. And there is a challenge, which is, the last 30 years I've been in a senior management position, and you've got a purpose and goal and objective and people to manage, and I've got to find the balance between keeping the mind going, making sure you've got some motivation, and I've got some things I'm interested in, and then enjoying some of the things that are on my bucket list.